Why do people want to marry for love anymore? Nobody does that anymore. Guys, let me know, and don't forget to like, subscribe. Hi guys. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be reacting to a video. It's a YouTuber. Her name is Breenly Lee. She has over 550,000 subscribers and she's been doing these kinds of videos for a long time. Actually, I've been following her for a long time, and she did a recent video. It is called The Truth About Dating Rich Men. And because I've been seeing everything that's going around on YouTube and on social media about high value men and about women and their choices and about how they are delusional apparently and all these sorts of things, I wanted to, because I really liked her video, I wanted to react to her video and comment on it a little bit. So I'm gonna be doing commentary. Hopefully it works out. It was a great video in my opinion. The women's side of it, and also somebody who is kind of wise for her age. She is much younger than me actually. Also, I wanted to say I'm going to be linking her video down below, of course. So she starts her introduction by asking the question, women really want to marry rich men? Women really want rich men to take care of them, to buy everything for them, to do everything for them. And I was watching another video the other day and they were talking about, like, for example, Little Women. Little Women 2019, I think the most recent one, was really well made. It's beautiful. I love Little Women. I've been watching those movies since I was a child. And I think I've seen all the versions, maybe not the very, very old ones, but in these times, back then, women had to marry for financial reasons back then when, you know, the 1900s or before that, because women didn't have any rights. Women couldn't work. Women couldn't have bank accounts. Women couldn't own property. Women couldn't do anything. So back then, it was necessary for survival reasons to marry for money and wanting to marry a rich man. Of course, like she says in her video, it's not all rich men that are, you know, bad people, but I would say maybe a large majority of rich men are maybe not the best people, don't have the best personality. I watch Abba and preach a lot, and Abba was saying that one time in one of his videos. He was saying that the type of personality that you have to advance so well in life, it's not the nicest, it's not the most accommodating, it's not the most caring personality. Probably not all rich men are like that, but it takes certain kind of people to be ruthless and to be fearless and to be so successful in financial endeavors and in a business endeavor. And if they are so driven, if they are so focused on what they're doing, then they possibly may not be the best people to be around. Does this desire come from being swept up our feet like princesses? Is it because we watched too much fairy tales and we saw that the prince would come and rescue the damsel in distress? And if we are very poor, if we can't buy everything that we want whenever we want, we have put ourselves in some kind of a category. But I'm seeing that it's not just poor women that have the desire to be taken care of by rich men. I've seen also self-made women say things like that on social media. So I'm like, what is it? If you're already making six figures, why do you need a man to also take care of you? You're already doing it for yourself. So don't you want somebody to love you instead? Why do you need somebody to take care of you? Because the problem is that if you're focusing on financial, you're not focusing on love. And if you already have the money, you don't have to secure yourself with somebody who has money. You can definitely look for somebody you're gonna be loving and it's gonna be loving you. Of course, if you're making a lot of money, you're not gonna take just anyone off the street to share your life with that person. But If you're already making a lot of money, do you need to be looking for somebody that makes 7, 8 figures because you already make 6 figures? I'm not really sure, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's kind of a syndrome of us watching too many Disney movies, maybe. I'm not sure, but I don't really know why women would say that they want to be taken care of by men when we have been raised in this society, in this modern age. We have been raised to be self-sufficient. I'm not a feminist, and I do not advocate for people to be alone, stay without a husband, or stay without a mate. I'm not saying that I'm married, but I'm saying, is chasing a man with a lot of money really what you need to be doing? And also, what does it mean? What does it mean to want a man to take care of you? Does it mean that you're going to be staying home? Does it mean you're going to be a housewife? We're not raised to be housewives anymore. We are not raised for that, because there's no need for housewives the way that there was a need before. Women couldn't work before, so they had to be housewives. This is not the case now. You can choose to be a housewife, yes, but not all of us will be housewives. We don't all want to be housewives. So if we marry a rich man, what are we going to do? If this man, which is what I'm hearing from the other side, from the man's side, if this man wants you to be a housewife, or if this man wants to control you because he makes all the money, he's the one who bought the house, he bought the cars, he did everything, and now you're just here for your good looks and your body, what are you going to be doing for him? Of course, if you marry for love, this is not a discussion. You found somebody, it wasn't because of his money that you married him. It's because you loved him. And then the fact that he had money is a plus. This is not the same thing. I'm talking about the women who are seeking men because they are rich and that want to marry them because they're rich. They don't care about them. You can learn to you can learn to accept someone, like arranged marriages. You can even fall in love with someone that you weren't really in love with in the beginning, but you're not marrying for love, so there's a chance that you may not find love with that person. There's a chance that you find out that this is not really the life that you wanted, and this is not really the life that you dreamed of, and you're married to that man who doesn't really love you and who you don't really love. So what do you do after that, really, you know? So like I was saying, if you want to marry a rich man and the rich man wants you to be home and be a housewife, are you going to be cooking, cleaning, taking care of him, taking care of the children, running the house, and be available for him 24/7? So whenever he says jump, you have to be able to be doing that. You can't have your side hustle, you can't have your side job, you can have your own job, because you have to be available for him 24/7. He's not going to be paying for a nanny, or maybe they will pay for nannies, but you have to be managing the whole thing. So you have to be managing the house, the help. If you're rich enough to get people to cook for you and clean for you and take care of the kids for you, you have to be able to manage that, and the house has to run A1. It's not a small thing what you have to give in exchange for being with a wealthy man. So you have to think about that before you make your decision that this is what you really want, because you could also really want somebody at your own level, regular guy. You can build together, put your two incomes together, and you will make 6 figures together, and you will be able to be free, like have a free mind, do what you want in life, like your job, You can decide if you want to be a housewife, or maybe you can take a few months off maternity and be with the baby. This is possible here in Canada. And then when you go back to work, the baby is over 12 months or 18 months, depending on how much you took, because you can take a little more than a year. So if the baby is a little older than just a newborn, you don't feel as guilty when you go back to work. You have other responsibilities than just staying home with the baby, taking care of the house, taking care of cooking and cleaning and all that. So it depends. Some people like that. Some people will just relish in that life and be happy. Some people do it no problem, but it's not going to be for everyone. In her video, Breenly Lee says that we have made so many advances in the world as women to want to go back to being under the care of a husband, to being controlled by a man. And I agree with her. I am not a feminist, like I probably said in the beginning, but I do value myself and my agency, and I want to contribute to my family's success. I don't want to depend on someone, and I don't want to just have that one person make the decision for me. I left my parents because I wanted to take on my own responsibilities. I wanted to be able to decide for myself, for my life, and things that I wanted to do. And this is how I feel like this is the natural way, the natural evolution. You are a child, and as you grow and you start to understand things, and at one point you realize, I can't live with my parents anymore. I want to make my own decision. But if you choose to be with a man who is going to be controlling you, who is going to be above you, I will emphasize, this does not apply if you fell in love with the man and he's rich. This does not apply because I'm pretty sure that if you fell in love with someone and he has a lot of money, he still takes care of you the same way that I fell in love with my husband, and we share everything. He's going to be putting his money in the bank account. You're going to be taking care of it. It's going to be great. But not most relationships are like that, unfortunately. We would all want that. We would all want our husband to be the most loving but be rich. But realistically, from what I've been seeing on social media, this is not what's happening. When I think about women marrying, wealthier men, I think about Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey married Tommy Mottola when she was in her early 20s, and it was hell for her. I mean, she's been telling us the stories ever since she got out of there. It wasn't good. And you can tell by, seeing Mariah Carey that she's a very capable woman. She's a very able-bodied woman. Why would she want to be controlled by a man? You know what I mean? Why would you want to have him decide where you go, what you do, what you sing, how you dress? Seriously. He was her husband and her boss. That must have been so horrible. The way that society is set up right now, women go to school and women are successful academically until university. I think the studies were saying that there was more women masters and more women doctorates than men. So women spend a lot of time taking care of securing a future with education, and then I hear the opposite, that women should be finding a man to take care of them, to control them, to pay for them, to buy them things. It's really important not to forget that marrying a rich guy, marrying a high value man, is a business transaction. If you're marrying for financial security, you didn't marry for love. And so it's the same as an arranged marriage. You arranged it, but it's the same as an arranged marriage. People are getting away from that. People are getting away from marriage for convenience, and apparently people are going back to that. You will marry a man who makes a lot of money, who doesn't respect you, who doesn't love you, who doesn't care about spending time with you. And anyways, he's going to be too busy to spend time with you for sure, because he's working all the time. If he's a rich man, he's working all the time, so he doesn't really have time for you. And so you're going to be alone, but you're not going to be able to have a job. You're probably going to have the possibility of having hobbies. So, you know, that's a good thing, but you're not going to be able to make your own money. And modern women, I feel like we're not made that way. We're not made to depend on people. So that's why there's such a pushback. It's not for everyone. It's not necessarily not for you. It could be for you. If you were raised to believe in taking care of your man and you were raised to be a housewife. Most modern women aren't, but that's okay if you were. Then for you, this life is not foreign. It's not completely impossible. But if you were raised to go to school as high as you can, like go to university and get a degree, and you were raised to make your own money, be independent, which is what my parents' generation taught our generation. My parents are baby boomers and they taught us to be independent. And also, like I was taking the example of Mariah Carey again. She mentioned that when she was married to Tommy Mottola, she had a bag packed with little bits of her essentials ready to go at any time. She knew that if she left him, she wouldn't have much, not his money, nothing, but she didn't care about that. She knew that leaving him would give her freedom and she wouldn't need his money. She would be able to make her own money, even though he pulled all the stops to be able to stop her from making money and continuing to be successful. But her talent prevailed, I guess. But really, when you decide to be handled, to be kept, to be taken care of by a guy, you're giving up a lot. And that's not something to be taken lightly. So if all the generations before us worked really hard for us to be free, for us to be our own agents, for us to be capable of making our own money and capable of contributing to the family income at least 50%, if not more, sometimes it's more. If you respect your husband, you're married for love and you married knowing that you were both going to work hard for the advancement of the family. The fact that you're making 60% and your husband is making 40% is not a problem. It is not a problem. We all want to be rich, but it's not necessary. We don't need to be rich. So being rich is not necessary. Okay, so it's a dream. Everybody has that dream. We all want money to fall off the sky and we're rich all of a sudden. Yes, but I will never sacrifice my freedom, my mental health, my sanity to be with somebody who can take care of me. Definitely not. Definitely not. Also, there was a lot of talk about high value men exercise options. This is the famous phrase that I've been hearing a lot. High value men exercise options. So they don't cheat. If you marry a high value man, if you marry a rich guy, you knew what you were getting into. You probably signed a contract in the beginning. From what I understand from watching TV and reading books, and they're pretty fictional, but usually fiction comes from life. You probably, in the prenup, you sign an agreement. And the agreement states that he can cheat, but if he gets caught, that's when he breaks the contract. Getting caught and embarrassing the woman is something that will get him to break the conditions of the agreement. So usually the guys will be really careful, because if the woman knows that the guy is cheating, the man is cheating, it's fine. But if other people find out and it becomes a big deal around them and it embarrasses them, let's think about Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. What an embarrassment, really. What an embarrassment. She didn't leave him, but guys, can you imagine being with someone this high profile, the president of the United States? You get caught with an indiscretion with a young woman and it makes international news. Can you imagine having to live with that? This is supposed to be a high value man. It's the president. It's the president of the United States. How embarrassing, really. I guess if you married for convenience, if you married for money, you were compensated. It's possible that one of the clauses, if you don't leave him, is that you get more money from him. Maybe, but it's not all it's cracked up to be, in my opinion. Of course, I'm talking as a basic poor woman. I'm not poor, but I'm not rich at all. I don't know what it is to be rich. I don't know anything about that life. I am not interested in being kept. I am not interested in being controlled by another person. So this is why I'm married for love.
What does it profit a man or a woman to gain the whole world and to lose her soul in the process?
I think that as a young girl, I always valued myself a lot. We all have self-esteem issues. We all have things that we don't like about ourselves physically or even personality-wise or psychologically, I don't know. But I always valued myself a lot. And it was very important for me to find somebody who would be treating me with a lot of esteem. I value myself a lot, but I've known what it was to be unhappy because somebody can make you unhappy, and I didn't want to live my life unhappy. You know how it is when, I don't know if people know how it is, but sometimes you can be with someone and not want to go home because you don't want to be with the person. So imagine if you marry for money and you can't really stand the person, or the person treats you so badly that your self-esteem is completely on the floor. You know, it's a big risk to marry somebody for money. It is a big risk to apply yourself to take care of your exterior because you need to look a certain way. You need to be a certain body type to be worthy of people like that. So you need to be the right weight, physically look a certain way before they even consider you. So that's one thing. When young women in general, physically, if you take care of yourself, you're gonna look good for a high value man. So if you work out, you eat right, and you take care of yourself, you know how to do your hair, you know how to do your makeup, you're gonna look good. So if you're average and above, usually you can bag a high value man, in my opinion, because average people and above can become above average people with, you know, the correct hair and the proper makeup. You can be beautiful. So yes, I valued myself a lot when I was younger. It was important for me to be respected. It was important for me to be loved. And it was important for me to be with somebody who did not affect my mental health, because when you're in a situation where you are unhappy, that can really take a toll of your health mentally. If I look at examples like Saweetie, for example, recently, she was with a guy who was pretty well off, I'm guessing. I don't know them, like I don't listen to their music or anything like that. I don't know anything about them, but they were in the news because they had a very public breakup. It didn't really go well, and then footage of him or her being physically abusive came out, and it was really disturbing. And I'm thinking to myself, these people should really have it together, but they don't. And a lot of people are gonna argue that entertainers are not high value, but some people just go for those people. Some people go for entertainers. But if you have your own thing going on, you're already successful in your own thing, and you find someone, for them, I'm thinking it was love, because what would she gain? Maybe she would gain. I'm not really sure how it works in this world, but I think that respecting yourself is more important than having money. You can make a big mistake if you decide to be with a guy just because he has money. And of course, being happy was one of the most important thing that I wanted when I was younger. And I always think about that song from Beyonce. It's from the album, the Beyonce album, the Black album, and she's in a contest and the person asked her, I think it's Pretty Hurts? Yeah.
Miss Third Ward.
Miss Third Ward. It's a beauty pageant. And question.
Miss Third Ward, your first question.
Miss Third Ward,
What is your aspiration?
what is your aspiration in life?
My aspiration in life would be to be happy.
My aspiration in life was to be happy. Before Beyonce ever said it, I also wanted to be happy. And so there was no way I was going to marry someone just for money. There was no way. Of course, like I said, you guys, if you are in the right environment, you fall in love with a guy and he is rich, it's great. Go for it. This is what you want. But if you are in an environment with people around you who are akin to you, who are the same level as you, who have the same values as you, who respect you, you find a man and you fall in love, he falls in love with you, it's even better than money. If you guys can work together to build your wealth, your family wealth together, you will be going through life with a purpose. And it's not because you're gonna be poor, not at all. With my husband, because our parents, they took care of us, they gave us the opportunities to be able to get an education and go and be or do something with our life. This is really all you really need. You just really need to know that you can find somebody who will also have the same ambitions as you and share this life. I don't want a husband who will tell me I have to stay home because I have to take care of the house and the kids. I don't want that. And so I married someone who shared the same belief as me. He shares the same thing. He wants me to succeed. He wants me to be happy. He doesn't allow me to do anything. He loves me. He just takes care of me, and the rest we can build together. We are not rich. Let me tell you guys, I am not rich, but I am happy. I am definitely happy. And that's what we all want. Rich people and poor people, all they really want is to be happy. I didn't want to take Beyonce and Jay-Z as an example, but it's another kind of example. I believe that Beyonce and Jay-Z married for love, but even with love, it's hard. So if there isn't love, you guys, if there's no love, it's Mariah Carey and Tommy Mottola. It's Melania Trump and Donald Trump. It's Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. It's not great. I'm judging. I don't know anything about them, like personally. I am judging them. But from the outside looking in, this is what I'm seeing. You guys are seeing all the good. You're seeing the cars. You're seeing the purses. You're seeing the big houses. Me, all I'm seeing is these examples of women, very capable women, highly ambitious women, with men who don't really treat them the best way that they can. Why is that? Why is that? Anyways, that's all I have for now for this topic. Well, thank you very much for watching. And also, don't forget to comment below. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong about what I'm saying? Am I completely off? And thank you so much again for the subscribers I've gotten so far. I'm really happy, and I will see you next time. Bye.